Hey, good morning, guys. How are you? We were already talking to agents this morning. Everybody's having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. It's April 12th. We got some good, man, it's been a great month so far. Some good weather coming in. Looked like it was going to be nasty this week, and it's looking out there now like a beautiful day. So I want to go over a couple things with you this week. First of all, I want everybody to have a great week. If you want to go over on paperless, if you have a listing, it needs to go into paperless, not when it expires or when it sells, the minute it goes in. So once you enter it into the MLS, you need to send a copy of the listing along with a copy of the MLS page in to Denise, into paperless, and so that Denise and them can do it. We're going to have Denise's new assistant starts next week, and one of the first tasks she's going to do is go through all of our listings and all of our MLSs and make sure they match up. Guys, even if a contract falls out, if a listing doesn't get a contract and expires, that doesn't happen nowadays, but you understand what I'm saying, we still have to have this paperwork for Trek. And these are things that you're going to see. Now, we want to make sure that it's all in and it's all right. And we want to, so on paperless, we want to make sure that everything we need is in there if somebody calls, because what's happening now in this competitive world, we're getting people that we don't know how, because we don't advertise our office phone number, that are calling here asking questions. Well, we can't find it. Okay, so it puts us in a position, well, who was that? Well, I just want, well, we have over 100 agents. We don't know where this thing is. Well, it's out in the middle of someplace close to Tyler. Well, that narrows it down to about 1 million. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. So what we want to do is we want to get everybody putting everything they can in so that it can be accessed by the staff. It also keeps us in compliance with Trek on contracts or listings that we have out there. If they come in and do an audit and pull something out of MLS, we're matched up 100% that way, and that's what we want to do. Also want to go over the importance of getting a contract right. We had 3 instances in the last week where we had agents write things on the wrong contract. And here's the situation, okay? Unimproved acreage and farm and ranch, there's a little gray area there, and we completely understand that. But the one that I'm real concerned about, we had 2 instances in the last week to where it was new construction, and on the new construction, they put it on a 1 to 4 family. And the excuse we got both times was, well, the other side took it and their lender took it and the title company took it. That still doesn't make it right. Everybody can be wrong, and it still doesn't make it right. And I'm going to cite you an example from personal experience. I've done this. I put a house that was about to be complete on a completed construction contract, because all they were doing was basically cleaning up, and that was completely fine. And I put it should have been on a completed construction contract. I put it on a 1 to 4 family. Well, 3 months after they moved in, they go up in the attic, and where's the insulation? Doesn't have any insulation. Guess who ended up insulating their attic? And then it's planted the seed. Well, it's supposed to have this kind in the walls and this kind of this. In the new construction contract, it has the amount of insulation they're supposed to have. It's not that dissimilar to a regular contract, but there are a few items in there that protect your buyer. If you use the wrong contract and everybody signs off on it, and they come back and go, where's my insulation? Where's this? Where's that? Guess who's responsible for that? You are, because you didn't do, as the buyer, you didn't do the right thing. The seller can say, well, I signed the contract. There's no place on there for that. And I don't represent that it has that. Okay? And in the meantime, we're telling them, it's supposed to have insulation, this, that, and the other. So those are things that are protection for you. All right? We want to make sure that you do it on the right forms. There's no argument. Denise and I want to get things across. We want to get you paid, and we do want to get us paid. We want to get you paid. But when Denise says it's on the wrong contract, please get this corrected. There's no argument to be had. You're about to make thousands of dollars, and we won't issue a CDA if it's on the wrong contract. We can't, because that shows us, it shows that we agreed with your bad decision, and we can't do that. So just because everyone on the other side agrees is great, but when we get close to, I see this happen a lot, we spend a lot of time with a customer, and then when we have to write a contract, we get in a hurry. Slow down. Take your time. And I understand going with unimproved acreage over farm and ranch on smaller tracts of land, okay? I even understand the confusion of incomplete construction versus complete. If it's almost complete, I don't have a problem with it being incomplete. But 1 to 4 family, we had 2 instances where 1 to 4 family was used instead of the completed new construction complete. That can put you in a perilous situation. I don't care if everybody said it was okay. I said it wasn't okay, and we will comply with the rules of TREC. I'm going to tell you, we see this every week. Last week we had 2 or 3 agents. There are people doing things they should not do, and I'm not really a big fan of TREC or TAR a lot of times, but I got to tell you, bless them, they can't deal with the complaints that are coming in so fast, like a fire hose. Okay, we've had in the last few weeks, we've had an agent where the seller told the seller told the buyer's agent that we're done negotiating. You either go to the closing table or we're done. We'll sell the house to somebody else. This was a new construction contract where we had the seller. The agent went around and started calling the subcontractors that work for the builder, for the owner of the house, and demanding that they do this and they do this and they do this. Well, they were smart enough to call and say, who is this idiot? Okay, think about that for a minute. She's told the deal is done, or she can go, or her and her customer can go away, and then she goes to the people that this guy employs and starts making demands. And I mean, getting pretty threatening and pretty ominous. We'll walk away. We'll do it. We'll walk away. It's going to close next week with somebody else. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Danae, good job. New construction properties is final inspection, certificate of occupancy. Okay. And so those type of things. Guys, you have to pay attention and get it on the right contract, because if not, the liability comes back on you, because it's called errors and omissions for a reason. You made an error. Guess who becomes responsible for that deductible? You, not me. And then because you made a mistake, the deductible goes up the next year, and every agent pays for your mistake. So we're a family. Don't get lazy. Okay? All right? Don't get greedy. Also, another thing I want to touch on, we have some agents out there that there is no required commission. We do have agents that list things and want to pay the buyer side 2%, 2.5%. Question, do you agree using an addendum for special paint or appliances? Here's the way I've always done it when it comes to that. If I'm the builder, if there's a custom option, if the builder wants, then yeah, you can use an addendum for that. But let me tell you, the deal is, if I'm building just a stock house, those things have already been chosen, and I tell the customer you're free to change them to whatever you want to change them to, because in this market, you're free to change to whatever you want after you buy it, because in this market, okay, everything goes up daily. So if somebody wants to change it, it's got to be pretty stiff. There's got to be a penalty. They forget, customers, agents are forgetting that when they made an offer on that house, there might have been 10 other offers, especially if it's a house under $300,000, there might have been 10 other offers. And they want to get sassy and nasty, okay, and get ugly. There's another customer waiting to buy that house. Now, what I have found is 99 times out of 100, it's not the customer. It's not the customer that's getting ugly, it's the agent. And we got some agents out there that have had ugly attitudes for a long, long time. And in this market, they're just pent up waiting for an argument. And they think because they get one under contract, they can cause a problem. And that was the case with this listing where we had the new construction seller. This agent's going to get a sad awakening. She's had this habit forever. And you can't do that. Okay. It's just too easy to say, we'll move on. Okay. And they don't understand what's going on in the marketplace today. And if I've got the buyer side, I want to be firm, and I want the seller to be firm, and I want the seller to fix anything that's structural or safety or environmental. Those are the things, okay? New construction, this deal, there was nothing wrong with this house. They wanted something that the buyer wasn't willing to pay for, and the seller said, look, we're not going to do that unless you pay for it. Well, the guy wasn't going to pay for it. Well, fine, we'll sell the house to somebody else. Well, she was determined to make this deal close. And then I looked, and she's a rather large agent here in town, and I looked, and she normally carried a lot of listings. She only had 5 listings, and so that tells me what kind of business, what's gone to her business. And so finally, let me tell you guys, if you got a bad attitude right now in this business, it's not going to take very long for people just not to do business with you. There's too many options out there. So new construction's pretty simple, and you need to take your time, don't get greedy. Now back to the commission. There's no fixed commission rate. Not allowed to do that. If they want to pay 2%, 2.5%, you are legally obligated to show that house if your customer wants to do it. You can also put on a buyer's rep and just say, you owe me 3%. They're only paying 2%. You got to pay me the other. You're allowed to do those kind of things. But there also is a solution, and I've talked to Tar Legal about this. I can send, if it's somebody who consistently pays lower, I can send a letter to their broker that says, because we support the fact that there is no price fixing and the fact that you pay 2 or you pay 2.5%, this agent in your office, so we will in kind, all of your agents in your office will be paid 2, 2.5, whatever you pay, will be paid. We support your marketing philosophy, but we're not going to pay you 3% while you're only paying everybody else in the market this. We understand that. We're still going to sell that house at 2 or 2.5%. Don't get greedy, okay? Show the house. Absolutely. You can tell the buyer, this is what I normally get paid, so write a check, okay, if you want. Me, I just sell it, and then I'll send a letter. I don't, because I don't compete with you guys, but I would just sell it and then have my broker send a letter to their broker, just say, it's come to my attention and blah, 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 and we support your marketing philosophy. We realize there is no price fixing, and that's great. And since you want to pay this amount, we completely agree with your marketing philosophy, and we'll be glad to do it. See, a lot of agents' marketing philosophy is to go in, overprice the property, and cut their commission. That should tell you who you're dealing with to start with and how negotiations will end up being. But I'm just going to tell you that, an agent that overprices the property, the seller, if the property's worth 200 and they price it at 240 to get the listing, and then the offer comes in at 200, the seller's going, I'm losing 40,000. No, you're not. Your agent was overpriced it to get the listing. So when it comes to prices and things like that, and also we had a couple, I mentioned it last week, we did have a couple instances where people, agents would come in and our agents listened. Man, have we got some wonderful agents out there listening. They'll come in and put an FHA contract on something and offer $25,000 over list. Well, it's not going to appraise. Then, the seller's like, oh my God, I'm going to make 20. No, you're not. We did the job right. We did the comps right. We did everything right. And so your house is worth this. They made that offer to get your attention. And then when it doesn't appraise, they're going to come back and say, you got to sell it for that. Let's look at all the offers, see which one is legit. What come to do with that one? They had one that was 7,000 over that was conventional with the conventional addendum, finance addendum amendment, that let them, said it has to appraise for the amount we had it listed for, okay? Anything over they would pay. I thought that was an amazing good job on the part of that other realtor. That was an amazing good job. And they could even go down as low as to the amount financed on a conventional. But these folks were doing a 5% down conventional, and I completely understand it was a very fair offer, and it'll appraise within $1,000 or whatever. But it was never going to appraise at 15, 20, 25,000 over. And they come in with FHA. Well, FHA has to approve for the full amount. In most cases, some investors can take less. It's whoever. But, so just because we're getting an offer that's way over list, look at the financing. Look at who's doing the financing, okay? Look at the offer and examine, will that offer make it to the closing table under those terms? And a lot of times it won't. And if it won't, you don't really have an offer there, okay? What you've got is somebody trying to beat out everybody else under false pretenses. And that, for me, is just like listing a house too high, all right? We're going to make an offer they can't refuse. And then you're going to negotiate after that. Well, the seller's going to have a sour taste in their mouth thinking they lost money. They never lost money. The house should have sold for what we told you it should have sold for, all right? Somebody got your attention with an offer, okay, that was never intended, okay, to get to the closing table at that price. So watch those, watch your commission amounts, things like that. If we have somebody that's consistently, I don't do much about the 2.5%ers, but we have somebody consistently pays. We do have a couple out there that I've sent letters to, and they got hot, 1.5%, 2%, and I sent them letters and said that we'll join the, the whole, and they, they were like, well, does that mean our whole brokerage? Yes, it does, okay? It means your whole brokerage, because you won't do whatever. So we want you to do what you need to do to be profitable out there, but we also want you to take care of the customers. First and foremost, you show anything and everything to a customer. We don't care. I don't care if it's a $10,000 shack. All right. I don't care if it's a $2 million house. I don't care if it pays 1.5%. I don't care if it pays 2.5%. This is not about being greedy. This is about doing the right thing for the customer, and it will take care. Make sure you get things on the right contract. If it is new construction, it has to be on one of the new construction contracts. Cannot put it on a 1-to-4 family. Denise will kick it back. You can argue till you're blue in the face. You won't get, Denise will shut down and you will not get a CDA. So when you show up for closing and say, where's my CDA? It's on the wrong contract. We sent you an email. We discussed this. You didn't change it. I don't care if the lender took it. I don't care if the title company took it. I don't care if the other agent took it. Wrong is wrong. I can cite countless examples where everybody was wrong and the one person that was right was standing all by themselves. If you're paying attention in America today, you know what I'm talking about. But the situation is out there. Inventory's tough. Get it right the first time. Watch your offers when they come in. A high offer on an FHA contract, you need to scrutinize it a lot. I'm seeing consistently the same group of agents, making stratospherically high offers on property to get the seller's attention, and our agents are shutting them down, going, it won't appraise for that. So that offer, the equivalent is basically $2,000 to $3,000 over, because I did my job on the comps and I got the price right. You got it on FHA, so it has to appraise. There's no way that's going to be that. So unless you want to switch it to conventional and put the finance amount and pay the difference, we probably won't have a deal. So you need to do what's good for your seller. Is it ethical? No, it's not ethical, but how do you prove it? Okay, so it's one of those deals. You do what's right. When you got the listing, you do what's right. Coach your sellers right. Make sure you advise your sellers. Just because something came in this much over, unless it's cash with no appraisal, it ain't. You got to watch it. Okay, know your contracts back and forth. Okay, I don't care what the other side's paying. If they're getting greedy and keeping more for themselves, and we are seeing that. We see a lot of that in Longview. See a lot. We can call the other agent and say, look, you're paying 2.5 on this. We want to see the listing agreement on the page that says commission. 2 agents have been caught in Longview, not ours, I have obviously been caught in Longview listing it for 6%, and the listing agreement said they would pay the other side 3%. They listed it for 6 and tried to keep 3.5, pay the other side 2.5. And when the page came out, they had to pay. Both brokers were really good and said, we will send you a check. And so, guys, you got to watch it. All right. There's paperwork to back up this. When they put something MLS at 2.5% or whatever, you can say, I need to see the pay distribution sheet on the listing agreement to make sure that this is accurate. Okay. And you'd be surprised what comes over. All right. Sometimes. And usually at that time, I'm not talking to the agent because they'll try to change it or whatever. I'm talking to the broker. And there was 2 agents got caught in Longview, and we're not going to name their names, but they're well known for doing shady stuff. So guys, I want you to have a great week. I'm having lunch with Bob Malden today. We're going to be out here getting some stuff done, getting ready for the next episode of MHG Happy Hour. We're supposed to get filming on that, but one of the participants caught COVID. So we want to make sure that everybody out there stays healthy. We still got some diseases running around. Do your best. Spring is great. We got yellow stuff everywhere. Get out and enjoy yourself. Make it a good day. Make it a great week. Look for me to come back on next week sometime, maybe later this week, and go over some more stuff. Get your stuff into paperless. If it's a listing, anything, get it into paperless. Don't wait till it closes. It needs to be in paperless. We're going to start monitoring that. We have to. Okay? Don't worry about the commission. Make sure you're on the right contract. If you're not on the right contract, Denise will not get you paid. All right, guys, we have to play by the rules. I don't care if everybody's breaking the rule. Okay? That's like driving down the highway at 90 miles an hour with 7 other cars and the police officer chooses you. Well, everybody else was speeding. Sorry, you're the one that pulled over. Okay? That's the way it is, guys. We do it and we do it right. Want you guys to have a great day. Bless you guys.